Okay, so we are live. So White Huskukwas, Ahislatla, Chestwa Hinandakin, Tots Mewi, Tots Kalach. Just hello everybody in the world. Today I am so honored that we are going to be talking and we are going to be sharing some information about boarding schools. But before we do that, I want to say that today's Power Hour with the Native Wellness Institute is in the 70th week. So we have been doing power hours for 70 weeks, and that's a long time. And today's power hour is being sponsored by the Urban Indian Health Institute. And so we want to say Limlem Shinchaspaus Talichast. Thank you to the Urban Indian Health Institute for allowing us to continue these power hours, allowing us to continue healing throughout Indian country, throughout, whoever, like we have people from all over the world who watch our power hours. And so today, before we do any introductions, I wanted to just ask Lorraine if she would just open us with a prayer, open us in the language. And as she's doing that, I'll light some smudge and we'll get started.
Oh, why lim lam pinchai squeezed in isita pinchakin el michum kuskat and sachjins and matmayatan. I'm Lorraine Wiley, the Executive Director of Salish School Spokane. Talikin limtkin Allah apanat so halt. I'm just going to do a short prayer to help us with some of our feelings that might come up during this power hour. Why limdam kolan chutan kalapana he so halt. Limdam tupia putiku Allah kul hitam hulauchtet. Kuchquachti ha haitet. What putiku Allah. Putiku koliwam testahar. Putiku kulami chu chautet. Creator, Grandfather, we're so thankful that we are here today. We're thankful for the strength of our ancestors, and that we're still here because of their strength. And we are still here today practicing our ways of being in this world, and we're still here on our traditional lands. And we hope that today will be a very good day, and that we all go through this day with a good heart. Limlamt.
White Limlims. Thank you, Lorraine. And as you said that beautiful prayer, I just want to sing a song and just ask that this song would just travel to all the places and all the ears and hearts that are listening that have joined us today. So with that prayer, I'll just offer this song and thank Creator Culin Sutton for this beautiful day. We wo yo, we wo yo, we wo, we hi, we ha, we ya, we ya, we ha, we ha, we ha, we ha, we ya, we ya. Hey yo, way ha, way ha, way ha, way ya, way ya, way ha, way ha, way ha, way ha, way ya, way ya, hey yo. White limnum shkakoots, katiayai, hincha spoos talichas, limlims. My heart is happy. My heart is good to be here today. And I would just like to ask Lorraine that you guys would just take this moment and introduce yourselves, because as you introduce yourselves into this virtual world, you're also introducing and you're bringing with you your ancestors. You're bringing them into this virtual space for healing and for understanding and for hope. And so if you could just take this time now to introduce yourselves.
Why chai squeezed any sitat? Ulkinil mihum kos hat in self jeans in mayatin. Ulin tatupa Adeline Bar na I stemtima na I schachbach Elizabeth Barr uli na kakana na I sachbach Harry Milliman na Clarice uli tum na I mista michi Lauren Les Wiley Tuli Kinsanite Stotgully Colville Confederated Tribes Ishnapsil Tisachlips. So my name is Inisitat Lorraine Wiley. I'm the executive director of Salish School Spokane, and my family is from the Colville tribe and from Arrow Lakes. And so that's my family. And I'm going to have Sapiachen introduce herself.
White Paya Iskri Sapiachen Ur Abanakin Chkum Oska Het in Self James and Maiton Nathi Stitch Mala Nathi Snapsealers Ur E Snapsealers Viluto or Sinyalman Nacham Abanaku Promote Allah or Skahet or she Snapsealers E Leon Bertel and Linda Bertel or Nancy Martin and Jerry Rhea, and as well as Vaughn Lodge and Tony Lodge. Hey everybody, my name is Taylor and I work here at the Salish School with the family and the youth, and my family's from Montana and I'm Grove on, so nice to meet you all. Lima.
White Haskell Halt in cha isquis chastenma in cha spaus talichast in cha tum shistichuam shnimipu in cha mistem in silkchin snikes. So today I just want to say my Indian name is LoVina, or my Indian name is Chastenma. My English name is LoVina Louie. From my mom's side, I come to you from the Shistichuam Shanimipu, the Coeur d'Alene and Nez Perce. And from my dad's side, I come from the Okanagan and Lakes bands of the Colville Confederated Tribes. And I'm really honored today to just be able to say those few words in our language. And you know, this is a really emotional topic for me because I put this picture on my background today so that we would remember why we're here, so that we would remember that many of our ancestors were not allowed to speak in this language, in this Salish language, that many of our ancestors were beaten and raped and molested and hurt in the boarding schools all across Turtle Island, in Canada, in the United States, all across this continent, our people were hurt. And when I was a young person and I attended Haskell, and that's why I put this background, because when I went to Haskell, it changed my life. I realized that our people drank and died of cirrhosis and were physically abusive to each other, emotionally abusive, the sexual abuse. I learned that all of that came from these boarding schools. And I didn't know that. You don't learn that in the United States history books. You learn that we help the pilgrims and then we go away. And you don't know what happened to us. You don't know the hurt that our people suffered. It's like America's hiding it. And they don't want to tell the truth. And so when I went to Haskell, and I'm going to just share some pictures with all of you, because I think it's important that people see these pictures. I think it's important that they see what happened to our people. So as it's so horrible that I can't see. It's just okay. So this is well, this picture I didn't start it at the right place, but this is a picture of my ayats, my mom's mom and her sisters, and all of them went to boarding school. All of my ayats went to boarding school in Dismet. And as I share this picture with all of you, I want to acknowledge that my yaya, when she was at the Dismet boarding school, these little girls came and little boys came from the Colville Reservation to the Coeur d'Alene Reservation. And as they got off the bus, they said in Indian, please don't let them cut my hair. Please don't let them cut my hair. And all the little kids lined up and they went into the sister's room. And when they came out, their hair was cut. And Jeanette Timantois went to my yaya in Indian and she said, please don't let them cut my hair. And so my yaya went to the sisters and she asked them, please let this little girl keep her hair. I'll comb it every day. I'll take care of it for her. And the sisters let Jeanette keep her hair. And when Jeanette grew up and became a woman and had children of her own, she would send her son, Chief Timantois, from the Colville Reservation to the Coeur d'Alene Reservation to bring my yaya Indian food. He would bring her camas and moss and bitterroot. Every year since I was a little girl, I never understood what they went through. I never understood when I went to a youth conference why I couldn't speak our language. When all of the Dene, the Navajos would stand up and they would introduce themselves like Lorraine, like we have learned. I couldn't do that. And then once I realized what happened to our people when they were beautiful and they lived in harmony with the earth, when we ate elk and salmon and berries and roots, and we lived as families together in these homes, in these longhouses, and we played games, and we rode horses, and we taught our children how to fish out of the Columbia River. I didn't understand what happened to our people. I didn't know. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you, besides the reservations, but when we had our ancestors, our yayats, our silats taken and put in boarding schools where they were forced to cut their hair and to pray and learn not only in English, but sometimes even in other languages, in Latin. My dad could pray as an altar boy in Latin and work the fields and work the ground. As they transformed our children, these pictures haunt me. As they transformed them from little children with long, beautiful hair, as they cut their hair. But when I went to Haskell, I seen the graveyards where the government said, kill the Indian and save the child. Kill everything that makes him who he is to save the child. as I stood in front of these boarding schools, as I stood in front of these graveyards, I made a commitment to these children that I would try to learn who I was, that I would try to learn our language, that I would try to learn our ways, that I wouldn't drink and I wouldn't do drugs, and I would do everything I could to help my people to heal from this trauma. And today, that's why I've invited Lorraine here. That's why I've invited the Salish School, because they are the hope. They are the light. They are the ones who are bringing back our language. Lorraine committed to bring back the language, and she started an immersion school. And I just wanted the whole world to see what you're doing, Lorraine. That there is hope for our people, for our children. That once again we can speak our language. That once again we can go out on the canoes like our ancestors did. That we can pick berries and dig roots and bring back our rites of passage ceremonies. So Lorraine, I want you guys to share now what you're doing for our Salish people.
Hi, Lean Lumped. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. And I guess my journey for language has been all about hope, because I know how strong our elders and our ancestors were. I've always felt like my great-great-grandmother survived all that she went through so that I could be here today. And what is my purpose? What am I here to do for the people? And I happened to take a class from Pauline Flett, and that changed my life. That changed my journey. I was, as an adult, as a kid, I didn't know anything about our culture, our language, but as a mom with 2 kids in middle school, I started reconnecting with Francis Kaluuya and other folks, Marcia Weinkoop and Pauline and some other folks who were willing to teach me so that I could learn about our culture and our ways and start learning language. And I'm so grateful to the Colville Confederated Tribes. Their language program is where I really started to be able to learn my language. And that's where I met Samtitsa Sarah Peterson. And of course, she and my husband, Chris Parkin, worked tirelessly to create curriculum for our school. And I just know that Samtitsa attended boarding school, residential school. And thankfully, she was able to break through the trauma and keep teaching and speaking. And she worked hard to do that, to be able to do that and give back to the community. So five gals and I, 5 ladies and I, Stevie Seymour, my daughter Danica, my sister Michelle, and me and Trina Ray, we decided we wanted to start an immersion school. We weren't sure if we could do it, but we wanted to try. I'd been able to go see Daryl Kipp's school and then Kusum school, and was able to go visit the Hawaiian school, and they really inspired me. And I thought, well, if they're trying and they're able to move their language forward and keep it from dying, then we better try. And we can try our best. So we started off with 4 little girls in my sister's basement. And we did like a 6-month pilot project, and it went really well. So we decided to incorporate as a nonprofit. And each year we've just been growing and growing. This is our 10th year in operation, and we have 68 students from 1 year old to, we have one senior this year who's graduating with us. And we do all immersion. Our secondary is bilingual, but for K through 8, it's all immersion. And we've just worked really hard to try and use everything we know in our language and to keep building curriculum for our students. And it's been a journey, and it's been full of ups and downs, but through it all, I keep thinking of my great grandmother and the strength of our ancestors. And if they could live through what they had to live through, then what we have to do to bring our language back is nothing compared to what they survived. And that's what I keep in my mind. It really is doable. I want to put it out there that there are tons of people who are, revitalizing their languages, and it can be done. You just have to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And, we all have tribal language programs who've been working very hard for years, and we just got to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And, Salish School, because we're a nonprofit, we run off of donations and grants, fundraising. Our parents pay tuition, and our parents are required to learn language or their student can't attend here. Because what we found is that when a student goes home and a parent speaks English to them all the time, they don't believe that their language is important, that it's not valued. So we want to connect the parent with the child so that they do 60 hours a year, the parents do, to have their kids at Salish School Spokane. So we offer community classes for parents, and we offer free childcare and dinners for them to make it easier to break down the barriers for people to learn language, because it's hard after work. The last thing you want to do is drag yourself from work to a language class because you're tired and your kids are crying and stuff. So we offer free dinner, free childcare, so just to make it easier. And we offer a class on Saturday mornings with free childcare and breakfast to make it easier. We have to break down the barriers for language learning so that people can learn. Our people can learn. Our people used to know many, many languages, many languages. I remember some elders telling me that their grandparents could speak Colville, Coeur d'Alene, Spokane. They all could talk together and they all understood each other. Our people were geniuses. They still are geniuses. We just have to move past that despair, because we still have our culture, we still have our language. We need to push through and keep it going. Keep it going.
That's so amazing, Lorraine. And I'm so grateful that well, Shelley Boyd, was the one who was like, oh, because I just toured the school and hoping to get my kids in, but I know there's a waiting list. And and that's amazing, right? Like the fact that parents are paying tuition and there's a waiting list, which I mean, that just gives, I mean, when I was there, it just gave me so much hope. And to hear all of the little babies, the little kids saying, why Husky Quest? Why? And it's just, oh my gosh, it's just, it makes my heart just feel like, we're gonna be okay. And, I think when I left Haskell, I came home and Samtita was my teacher. Samtita was the one who taught me in the language, and she used to come from Kamloops down to Nispelum and Omak, and I forced her to live with me. I was like, no, Samtita, I need you to live with me so my family can learn the language, and let's do immersion. And so we were trying, like even then we tried so hard, and I was a horrible like student, I guess you could say. And some teacher would, we would try, but just having her in our home, made us feel like we were trying. And she's just, I know that she's an elder now, she's passed over, but she created so much love for the language and the culture. And to this day, I feel gratitude towards Sam Tita for everything. And I think after like being with her, I thought, well, maybe I can't learn because I have all this stuff inside of me. So then I felt like I went on this whole different trajectory of healing, like creating healing spaces. It's like, we got to heal, but what I love is when Shelly told me the story about how you guys went up and had a gathering for Samtita, and how all of the older speakers, like yourself and Shelly, talked about the hurt and the pain, and how that was, to try to learn the language. And then your daughter stood up and she said, I don't have any hurt and pain when I think of our language. I only have love for our language. And to know that you created that shift, that is powerful. She loves the language and she doesn't have any hurt associated with the language. And that's what we all need to do. We need to like stop tearing each other down and uplift each other, and I know the kids are going to come in and everybody's going to get to see the kids, but did you want to share something, like I know you have my mind just went blank, but
I can talk a little bit about what they're gonna see. It's our
okay, yeah.
kindergarten class. They're gonna come in and they're gonna share their circle time routine with you guys so that you get to see and listen and hear and be immersed in the language like they do every day. Okay, so our teacher is in Talana, Tommy Simpson, and she's Lakes in Colville. And they're gonna get started. So Liam Lumped. Actually, he's Kayluala. That's it. He's Kayluili. Ah, fast. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it. He's Kayluili.
Linkman is so hot. Linkman is quack. Linkman is quack. Linkman is diagonal. Linkman is diagonal. Linkman is lakala. Linkman is lakala. Linkman is naxilu. Linkman is naxilu. Quits, quats, quick, 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 hi.
Tihas, are we all good?
Yeah, well, it's just when they drum, it's a little bit hard, like the sound goes in and out with
Oh,
the
okay.
drum.
The drum. Okay.
Yeah.
Humina mo kumakwa ang panin. Ihihas. Kaya pilit sa kekania. Ahoy. 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 Ihas. Kiwa. Pintil siki. Lima. Flapa.
White lamps.
Ki. Urpa. Yes, I think you can tell Stefas. Why leave them?
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are doing a good job.
Yeah. Oh, ako.
Do you think you can come closer? Like if one individual, because it's hard to hear from way over there. Ah, lim lamps.
Ano ba yung sentido?
Yelamihum.
Yelamihum.
Yelamihum. Yelamihum. Yelamihum. Yelamihum.
Usually said, do you want us to stand?
Oh, yeah, I think they'll see he's a twistly after lucha weekend. He's played a lucha
Here,
weekend.
look, we will put the.
Ahoy?
Hija,
Hija. Imam sa.
ahoy, isn't Tyler squeezed into us? Sweet, that's in Tyler squeezed. Isn't Tyler squeezed into us? We talk some statement in action, ahoy. Can apple apple speak, coconut speak.
Can't talk speak, coconut speak. Can't talk and speak, coconut speak. Coconut speak.
Can,
Can taco speak, coconut speak. Can taco speak, coconut speak. Can taco speak, coconut speak.
can apple apple speak. Tikinas for us. Chicken huts. Tikinas for us.
Can not speak.
Can,
Can I speak?
tikinas for us.
Can you?
Skin,
Asperger's.
action. Ano it? Tikinas for us. Tatak.
Can you? Can
Can ayo. Apan ako siwang sweet antum he squish. Sweet cam spoil. Lutak some treatment for icing will. Sweet antum he squish. He score. He squish. Captain. Sweet. A squid.
Squid.
He squished. Curiosity. He
A squid.
he squid.
He squid. Turn squid. A squid. He squid. He squid.
They should have squid. Here.
Into Bobby is squished. Sweet and to be squished. Into Mara is squished.
Into Valerie he squished. Akan what?
Oh, ate. May kuchu a squeeze. Chuika love chu incha squeeze. Sweet a squeeze. Ili. Oh, it's Kayla. That's it. A weekend really. Oh, it's squeeze.
He
Squeeze.
He squished out cool.
Ah, Stella. Shoot that squeeze. A weekend to LoVina.
He squished. So sexy as squished. He squished. So sexy as squished.
Yeah, he squeezed LoVina. Ahoy, hasta school. Chuika Squeeze that squeeze.
He squished. Kikinani. He is squished.
Ikikilana. Sweet that squeezed.
He squished because the maskets. We are squished.
He squeezed and he see that. Ahoy. Sweet that squeeze.
Lamps.
He squished. He squished. We are squished.
He squeezed
Ah.
and he see that. Yes. Sweet that squeeze.
He squeezed our squished.
Yes. Sweet that squeezed.
He squished the basket.
Yes. Limla. Oh, tali limla stitchamala. Kwan Oh.
Limlem sin chaspa talichas. Limlem sin chaspa talichas. Why? White limlems to all of the children who spoke in the language, sang in the language. Lorraine limlems for that powerful presentation of songs and language. And I think you just give us all hope, that we are going to be able to uplift this next generation of students, of children, and heal, heal the pain through the language, heal the pain through our culture, through our roots and berries and our elk and deer and all of these beautiful gifts that creator has given to us, that these children are going to be able to walk in love for who they are, and they're not going to be ashamed. They're not going to be ashamed to say, "White Haskell Halt and Chai Squeeze Hastenman Chaspa Ustali Hast." They're not going to be ashamed of who they are. I just, my heart is overjoyed with love for everything that you and your teachers and all of the teachers that have chosen, to make the commitment to learn the language, and all of the classes that you offer to your parents. Like, you guys offer so many classes so your parents will be able to learn, so that when your children go home, that their parents are going to be speaking in the language, and we're coming back full circle.
Yep.
That's what I see when I hear those children, when I see them in the community. I watched Brian and Crystal's little guy when you guys first opened your school, and I remember seeing him at gatherings, and even as a young man at 9 years old, he could speak, and he knew, he held that language sacred, and you could feel it when he would get up and talk. And I know it's hard, Lorraine. I know you've had struggles, and I know that, it's been difficult. And so I just want to say, leave Lemchin Chas Pu'us Talichas. Thank you from my heart for your dedication, for your love. And and if there's anything else you want to share with people, you know this go ahead and share, and then we'll go into our closing.
Okay, well, I do want to share that, the late Daryl Kipp, he would say, don't ask for permission, don't wait. Uh, do your best, just try your best, that's all you can do. And you got to keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles, come your way. But it's up to us to save our languages. And I think that all of society is responsible for taking our languages away, and it will take everyone to bring them back. But we are responsible to our ancestors to bring our languages back. That's why they survived with the teachings and the language so that we would still have them, and so that we could move forward and continue to do this work. I've had so many people help me along the way. I would not be where I am today with language if Samtitsa wouldn't have said, oh yeah, you and your Suyapi husband come up and live with me and we'll make books, right? How many elders are going to ask you to do that in your lifetime? So I've been really fortunate, and I feel like I've had so many people help, and our school has so many people help, just like you coming and doing this. And it helps because then our kids recognize that, oh, this is special, what we're doing matters, and we're going to continue to do this for the rest of our lives. So beam lumped.
Thank you so much. And I have, you know, I think what you're doing is that is the answer to so many of our cries for help, for so many of our people who need to do the healing work, but also, like you said, you need to just start somewhere.
Mhm.
Even if it's just starting with Ahis Latla and Chai Squeeze, just saying your name. Or
Mhm.
like I developed, with our tribe, I helped develop the power sweat. And I tell people, exercise in the language. When you're up there, when you're doing those moves, you say Knox, Silka, Cleese, Moose, Chilks. Even if it's doing that much, and being able to count to 10, at
Yep.
least you're doing something, at least you're trying. And I raise my hands to all of the language teachers that are out there across the United States and Canada. I lift you up, and I pray that our tribes and our people can get behind you and uplift you and support you in this endeavor. And if you can donate to the Salish Language School of Spokane. They have a website. I put the website in the comments. And you know anything helps. You're a nonprofit. You don't have a tribe that's backing you. So any little bit helps. Any, kind of donations, they help. And, I think as this year goes on, more and more people are going to heal, Lorraine, and they're going to be knocking down your door trying to get in your school. I mean, it's just that's what, because these are the types of things that are going to help our children and heal our children. So, I just want to again say Limlam Chinchaspa Ustali Khast. And as we close for today, I want to sing a song, and I just want to offer this song and this prayer to you and to all of the children that you interact with every day, to your teachers who are working and they're trying to survive and learn this language and pass it on. And so, in our closing for the Native Wellness Institute, we want to give gratitude to what you're doing. And I myself, Khastinma, I want to give gratitude, and I just want to offer this song for you, Lorraine, and for your staff, because you're the ones that are the glue that hold this place together. You and your husband, and that our creator Kulin suit, and that he'll protect you from all of the arrows, because we know, right? We are our people, we pull each other down and we attack each other, and we need to stop. We need to just stop, and we need to start uplifting each other and giving each other hope, helping our people elevate out of the darkness and into the light.
Mm.
And so for those children who didn't get to go home, for those children who were buried at Carlisle and Haskell and St. Mary's and De Smet and all of the boarding schools across the country, for those children, I sing this song and just ask that it will help them. It'll clear a way so that they can find their way home, and so that we can find our way back to who we are, back to embracing our knowledge and our historical wisdom that our ancestors, it's in our blood, Lorraine, that historical knowledge, that language, all of these things, they're in our blood. They couldn't beat it out of us. We're still here. We're still standing. And we're going to continue to thrive in this world because our Creator, we don't know why we had to go through this hurt and pain, but we're still here. And we're going to continue to walk forward. And we're going to continue to be proud of who we are. So, Salim Lemch, Lorraine, for joining us today, and I'll just sing this song and we'll close this power hour. Oh, oh, hey, oh, hey. Ho, eh, oh. Ho, eh, oh. Hey, oh. Hey. Lim lim kukut katiaya and chaspa us talichas, Creator. Oh, lim limsh. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, everybody who joined us today. We just ask that Creator would walk with you, eat with you, sleep with you, be in your hearts and your minds and your spirits as you walk on this healing journey. Lim limsh.
Ay, limot.
Mm.